Hey guys.
Hello.
Addie's over there in her office, but I'm in here and I'm working on the MIDI to serial contraption that we've got going on. So I've got my propeller spin source code up here. I'm just sort of retrofitting a bunch of previous stuff to sort of make this process go a little bit faster. I've got my schematic up here so I know which pins are what, and serial terminal here that's giving me debug all this stuff. I've got my MIDI keyboard here that's giving me serial output, and I've got my circuit going on here. The basic idea of this thing is that I've got my propeller board that I designed here. Wouldn't normally have this programming header on it. It would normally just be by itself with some, ribbon cable that jumps over to these modules. So on here, still early days on this, but I've got it all assembled, and the MIDI comes in here. There's opto isolation circuitry, a processor in there, an EEPROM, some user setting switches here, so you can set which MIDI channel it's listening in on, and then the serial output ports. Now I'm using port 0 and daisy chaining to these output modules. I call these TTL8s. Basically what they have is a shift register on it that has 8 outputs, and you can chain as many of these together as you want, but there's only 128 MIDI notes per channel. So I figure 128 chained together is sort of the default, what makes sense for these. You could use these to control anything with these little headers on the bottom edge of the board there. And I'll be working on coming up with some cool demo stuff of controlling things with these. But for right now, I've got the extra stuff installed on here, a little current limiting resistor array and 8 lights on each module. So what I can do here is press a key, and it's mapped to, so the lowest key is mapped to the lowest light, and if I go to the next key up, it's the next light, so on and so forth. Alright, so that's what I'm playing with today, and we're going to go check in with Addie and see what she's up to.
Well, we got new MIDI out me boards here, and they're actually correct. And
What do we have to fix on those?
we had to fix the silk screen and change the resistor value and find the right source of MIDI jacks, because I accidentally got the wrong ones.
Oh yeah, the DigiKey ones are different than the Theta ones.
Yeah. Everything that could have gone wrong pretty much did, but now it's all fixed.
And those should be up for sale on Tindy again now?
Soon, once I make the kits.
So you gotta put together kits?
Yes.
Okay, you can show people how we do that later.
Okay, otherwise I'm working on a switch. A SMT switch.
For what?
For my heartboard. I'm just working on making the module editor.
Heartboard?
Or the module here.
Heartboard's right there. You're done with that. We're not working on that anymore.
Cardiac simulator.
Yeah, it's a different thing. Cardiac simulator.
Which includes all of these components that you see in a nicer form factor.
So, Addie did a separate board here for the Micromedic contest that added a lot of functionality to her heartboard.
Yep.
And some people have been asking us to create an actual product out of all of those items put together.
Yep.
And that's the cardiac simulator.
Yep.
Can you pull up the schematic file or something like that so people can see?
So this is the bottom half of it.
So it's in 2 boards. One is the top half, which has both basically the lights that were on this heartboard here. There's a whole bunch of LEDs.
Yep.
And graphics and stuff. So the lights go on the top board that the user can see, but all the programming circuitry goes on the bottom board. And
Right.
It's all baked into one now.
Yep.
One big complicated mess. How are we doing on the rat's nest?
Let's see here. Still rat's nesty.
Ouch.
I'm tired of not having my switches because these are just placeholders. So I am going, that's why I'm searching for the ones I'm going to use, and that's why I'm making the module files for those.
So just source in parts so that we can actually route the board and get everything placed.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Holy buckets of nature.
So one thing we do during the week is deal with rabbit hole stuff, because obviously
Gosh, look at all that loot.
someone's got to be here for the stuff.
Oh
so
my gosh.
this will all just sit until Friday, but basically what we have is
A lot of gear.
How much was it in like value, like retail value?
A lot of money.
Thousands of dollars anyway.
Jeez,
Dremel tools. There's two
Yeah.
4,000s, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my gosh.
There's some bigger ones.
That's not even funny.
That's it. One of them.
Oh yeah, sure.
So take a look down in the box too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Man, all of our
So-
members could get one of these.
This is kind of like Instructables build night stuff.
Yeah, it is. Holy crap.
This is all like bits and tips and stuff
This is
like that.
amazing. These are expensive too. What are those?
So there's like the flat saw stuff.
Wow.
And tons and tons and tons of stuff in here. Anyway, so we don't get to play with this until Friday, so it just kind of has to
Holy buckets. Thanks, Instructables.
sit and take up space.
Yikes.
But we'll be doing some Instructable videos on these, and
Yep. And how-tos.
yep.
Cool.
All right, next up here for me is that I just got the channels working. So my keyboard is set up to work on MIDI channel 3, and the way that the MIDI protocol works, binary protocol, there's 4 bits for the channel on each message, and if they're all off, they're all 0, that's channel 1. If one of them is the least significant bit is off, that's channel 2, etc. So I need to set these 4 switches, 1 through 4, to a binary number that's 1 less than the channel that I want. And my keyboard, like I said, is set up for channel 3. So it starts out as channel 1. If I add 1 to it, that would be channel 2. If I add 2 to it, that would be channel 3. So I just need to push that one up when the time comes. So I'm going to hit key, and you could see the serial sending out the debug messages, but none of the lights came on. Now if I turn that user switch to a 1, that should add 2 to the number that I was at from channel 1 up to channel 3. Now these lights should come on if I press the key. Yep. Cool. So we've got channel selection working on the incoming MIDI. So now I can have maybe 2 channels defined here, these 4 bits and these 4 bits, and I could have one of them coming out on port 0 and one on port 1. Or I could just use these 4 bits to define the base channel, and that would be base channel plus 1, base channel plus 2, base channel plus 3. Could do it that way, I'm not sure yet. I've got a lot of... See, the reason why I kind of think I want to do it that way is because I've got these other 4 bits, and those 4 bits could set the option on these channels. Like if it's a 0, then it's just spitting out note on and off for relative channels based off these 4 bits. But if it's switched to on, then it puts it into its auxiliary mode, which could be the controller values coming out, sysx messages. There's all sorts of trickery that could be done, velocities, aftertouch stuff. I don't know. I'm weighing the options. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
We post videos all the time, so don't forget to subscribe. And follow us on Twitter at TYMKRS.